Thank you. It's our pleasure to welcome you to the annual meeting and to extend a special welcome to our friends at Nationwide. We will begin our luncheon program with the recognition of County Farm Bureau achievements and outstanding volunteer membership leaders.
It brings me great pride to announce the winners of our county awards. Again this year, Ohio continues its tradition of being one of the top states and top state farm bureaus in the country by bringing home the American Farm Bureau Federation's County Activity Awards of Excellence. We are, I'm going to go off script here. I think we're probably at least 7 or 8 years in a row now where we have had the largest number of counties recognized by American Farm Bureau in this category of awards of excellence. Great job, everybody. So these unique awards, they are locally driven, of course. They recognize these locally driven programs that serve as models of innovation for our county farm bureaus, not just here in the state, obviously, but certainly around the country. So congratulations to Knox County, Jackson, Vinton, Wayne, and Wood County Farm Bureaus as their programs were selected as this year's winners. They will be part of the showcase at the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention next month in Atlanta. If you would like to learn more about these winning programs, please see the summary on page 14 of your program. Also, the winning counties from 2020 that were not able to participate in the in-person event last year at American Farm Bureau because it was canceled, of course, because of COVID, we'd like to equally recognize those counties. Those are Delaware, Pickaway, Henry, Scioto, and Tuscarawas. Those counties will also be able to display at this year's American Farm Bureau in Atlanta. So let's recognize all those outstanding County Farm Bureau programs across the state.
Ohio Farm Bureau's Innovation Award encourages counties to implement new and creative programs within their plans of work. 8 county farm bureaus were selected for this award and will receive a $1,500 prize. Please hold your applause until all winners are announced. Congratulations to the following counties. Belmont County for the sponsored annual meeting program. Belmont County secured sponsors that enabled members to attend the county annual meeting at no cost. Crawford County for the Farm Safety Program, which placed yard signs warning motorists to watch for farm equipment on the roads. Hocking County for the Youth Cooperative Experience, an online program for youth to learn more about careers in the co-op field. This program was made possible through support received from the Ohio Farm Bureau Foundation. Pickaway County for the Pickaway County Buyers Club, which raises funds from the community to purchase animals at the Junior Fair Livestock Show. Pike County for Let's Get Poppin'. The County Farm Bureau created and now sells a custom kettle corn flavor called Harvest Mix. Union County for its first Farm Bureau Day at Rural King, where members invite Rural King shoppers to become Farm Bureau members. Wayne County for land use planning for the future of our county. The County Farm Bureau has been deeply involved to make sure farmer concerns regarding land use are brought forward. And last, Wood County for Hop Around Wood County, a beer and wine fundraiser for the County Scholarship Program. Let's show these counties our appreciation.
Ohio Farm Bureau also presents the Collaboration Award, which recognizes counties for their accomplishments gained through working together with multiple county farm bureaus. The recipients of the award this year receive $4,000, which will be divided evenly among each of the counties involved. Please hold your applause until all the winners are announced. The three programs that were receiving recognition this year for the 2021 Collaboration Awards are Allen, Paulding, Putnam, and Van Wert counties for the Grain Bin Safety Program, which provided training to first responders. Ashland, Medina, Wayne counties for their Ag Toy Drive, which provides agricultural-themed toys to children via Toys and Tots. And the third is Jackson, Vinton, Pike, Scioto counties for their virtual Ag Days. When the in-person event was not possible, the counties provided more than 60 videos for in-classroom viewing. Let's give all these counties a big round of applause.
As an organization, we have a rich tradition of volunteer membership campaign participation. While many organizations have abandoned this type of campaign, our members still continue this important face-to-face work as they talk to family, friends, and neighbors about the value of their membership in Farm Bureau. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to pages 11 through 13 in your program. There you will see the names of the volunteers who have achieved the Ambassador Club and Champions Club membership awards. Many of those hardworking volunteers are here this afternoon. Let's recognize them with a round of applause. In 2018, we celebrated our centennial, and many of us became more familiar with Murray Lincoln, the visionary first executive director of Ohio Farm Bureau. From the very beginning, he believed deeply in the Farm Bureau's mission and encouraged membership. It is in tribute to Mr. Lincoln that our highest membership honor is named after him. The Murray Lincoln Award is presented to volunteers who signed at least 50 members in this year's membership campaign. Please join me in congratulating our 5 Murray Lincoln Award winners, some of who are repeat winners. Tracy Robinson, Pike County, signed 54 members. Okay. Mick Scott, Jackson-Vinton County, signed 71 members. Pam Updike, Jackson-Vinton County, signed 71 members. And John Miller and Irvin Raber, both members in Holmes County, each signed 52 members. However, they are not with us today in person, but we also want to recognize their accomplishments.
Thank you.
To all the winners, please accept our sincere thanks for a job well done and for your contributions to the strength of Farm Bureau. Congratulations all. It is now my honor to introduce the Chief Executive Officer of Nationwide Insurance, Mr. Kurt Walker. He was elected to this position in 2019, and in this role, he also serves as a member of the Nationwide Board of Directors. Kurt initially joined the Nationwide family of companies in 1986. Prior to being elected CEO, he served for 10 years as president and chief operating officer of Nationwide Financial. During his career, he has served in various leadership positions within the company's property and casualty business, including president and COO of Nationwide Insurance and president of Allied Insurance, Nationwide's former independent agent subsidiary. Kurt's leadership philosophy focuses on the 4 Ps: people, planning, performance, and partnerships. This philosophy extends to driving an engaged, caring culture of associates that leads to better solutions for customers and other stakeholders. He is a graduate of Iowa State University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in management. He also holds a master's degree in management with an emphasis in leadership from the American College. Kurt is passionate about the community in which he works and lives. He advocates for the professional development and advancement of industry professionals as a board trustee for the Institutes, a property and casualty risk and insurance knowledge group. Among his many community involvement roles, he serves on the American Red Cross Board of Governors, the Nationwide Children's Hospital Board, the Dean's Advisory Council at Iowa State University's Ivy School of Business, and the Board of Directors for Catalyst, an organization dedicated to accelerating progress for women through workplace inclusion. A native of Irvington, Iowa, Kurt was raised on a Century farm, instilling the values of hard work and community responsibility that he carries forth today. Please welcome Mr. Kurt Walker.
just say the Iowa State University.
Well, that was hard for me to do.
Thank you. Together again. Seems appropriate. You know, while we weren't together again last year, we did it in this virtual world that we live in. How awesome is it to actually be here together this time around? It's just absolutely fabulous. You know, Cindy and I always look forward to this week because as a couple of Iowa farm kids, this is a family reunion for us, right? And I know that's true for so many of you as well. So a family reunion for Cindy and I, but it's also a family reunion for Nationwide. Because if it weren't for the Ohio Farm Bureau and the concept that they birthed in 1926, Nationwide would not be here. So what I want to reinforce to you today is we remember our roots, we remember our heritage, we remember why we exist, and it's because of you. And we are a cooperative-based mutual insurance company. We exist to serve many of you, our members. And so for that, we say thank you. The other thing is you reflect over the last number of years, we all know it's taken place there. But one of the things that we think during the pandemic the government got right was they defined the American farmer and rancher as mission critical. And here's what I would tell you at Nationwide, we've always known, it's always been true, it will always be true. Farmers and ranchers have always been mission critical to the survival of the United States. And for that, we absolutely say thank you. Because while we, 2 years ago at Nationwide, because we'd invested in automation for a number of years, we actually allowed 28,000 people to pick up their computers, go to their homes safely, and work from home. 28,000 people over 4 years, because we needed to do that to be able to provide the on-your-side service that we're so proud of. That wasn't possible for people involved in agriculture, right? Farmers couldn't do that. Many of our partners within the distribution centers, we appreciate their partnership as well, just couldn't do that. Corn needed to be planted, soybean needed to be planted, it needed to be harvested, and we know every single day, cows needed to be milked. And so for that, we are so gracious for the mission critical work that everybody in this room did. And so for that, we also say thank you. You feed America, you feed the world, and there's not a more noble purpose than that. So 2 years ago, we started to hear about pandemics, and we started to hear about this coronavirus, we started to hear about COVID, and we started to put our plan together, and it would only be appropriate because we're an insurance company. We manage risk. We need to be prepared for those things. But one of the unique things that we did is we went to our strategy folks and we said, when major things happen in the United States, and let's think really major, there's always customer influx that takes place, right? You have some that come in and change their ways. You have people that adopt new things. We want you to go back as a small group, lock yourself in a room. We want you to come forward and tell us 3 things that have changed in America when major things have taken place. We said, let's go back and look at, let's look at the Spanish flu. Let's look at the Great Depression. Let's look at World War I, let's look at World War II, let's look at 9/11. And what we want you to do is to tell us how customers and Americans reacted differently. So there's 3 things that took place. And the first one was, and I think you can all empathize with this, consumers became more value conscious, right? Hey, times are a little bit tougher here. I'm watching every dime that I spend. Consumers became more value conscious. Now that's right in the bailiwick of what we do at Nationwide, because we were already on a journey to take $1.3 billion, with a B, $1.3 billion of expenses out, and because we're a cooperative-based mutual, what would we do with those savings? And here's our commitment, and we're about 60% of the way through that right now, that the savings that take place, those aren't Nationwide savings. We're a members-based organization. Those need to go back to our members, they need to go back to our customers, our insureds, in the form of lower prices, better value, or a better customer experience. If we weren't a mutually structured company, if we weren't a cooperative at our roots, I would offer we might do that differently. we might send that back to stockholders. There's nothing wrong with being a stockholder. But based on the fact that we have these cooperative roots, mutual, we intend to be able to funnel that $1.3 billion back in one of three ways: lower cost, better value, or a better customer experience, because that's what mutual insurance companies do. Number one. Number two, what we found was that people reflected back and said, you know, we're forced to try new things. We're forced to try new things, and we all were forced to try new things over the last 2 years. And when we were forced to try those new things became habits. Try new things, they become habits. And what are we talking about there? I mean, other than 2 years ago, how many people actually ordered groceries online, right? That was foreign to us. It's become normal or commonplace for many. Oh, and by the way, on top of that, what did we do? We not only ordered them online, we picked them up curbside. And a lot of people have said, this is fabulous. I'm going to continue with this. The same would be for telemedicine, right? Especially in our more rural areas. There was a time where we were told, no, you actually need to come in and wait a while, and then the doctor will see you for 15 minutes. Some of those same things can be done through the use of automation, right? Telemedicine increased greatly over a 90-day period. But the other thing that I find interesting is, you know, the impact that other technology had. And what I'm talking about, and this one's really, really important, things like the Disney Channel, right? And we know that there were a number of, you know, families, you know, parents or grandparents that said, okay, we're going to get this Disney Plus channel, right? But just for a while as we get through all this. Disney did in 8 months what Netflix took 8 years to do. They equaled the same amount of Netflix subscriptions as what Disney Plus had in 8 months, what Netflix had in 8 years. And here's what I would share you. Tried something new, that newness became a habit. Can you imagine as a parent or a grandparent if you go to your children and said, we're going to cancel that Disney Channel thing? The retention on that is incredibly, incredibly high. But here's what people told us during that time period. I'm willing to try new things, right? I'm willing to try new things, and much of it includes this. 80% of America today sleeps with a smart device within 18 inches of their head, right? How many people in here don't have that just cuddled right up to you, right? So if you think about that, there were other things that we had tried a number of years ago, and we said, well, maybe the time has come. And one of those would be telematics. Now, what's telematics? Well, if you're willing to cooperate with us and share data, right? If you're willing to cooperate and share data, we'll rate your auto insurance premiums based on your experience. Folks, we'd been doing this for 8 years when the pandemic broke out. And candidly, we hadn't had a lot of lift from it. People were willing to try new things, and those new things become habits. Today, 40% of the new business that we generate is from our telematics product called Smart Miles, where people have now said, you know, I'm willing to share this information if there's a benefit for me. The majority of the people receive a savings of over 30% on their private passenger auto policy through telematics. You know, sometimes we talk about things that used to be creepy or kind of expected. I think that's the case with many of the technology things that are out there. But if you think about it from an agricultural standpoint, we also looked at it and said, we owe it to you to be able to come up with new things, right? We need to try new things that might become habits. Our increase focused on investments in safety is like it's never been before. And so what are we talking about there? Portable, affordable things that you can put on equipment, right? Bluetooth enabled or wireless enabled smoke detectors or heat detectors for your automobiles, for your shop, for your tractors, for your implements. Smartphone devices that will indicate when the temperature starts to go up in your shop, or your hog setups that's at an affordable price compared to what took place in the past. And one of the things that we're working hard on is a concern that Nationwide has had for some time. And folks, we've all been there before if we grew up on a farm. And what I'm talking about is grain bin safety, right? So we're proud of the fact that over the last number of years, Nationwide has continued to partner with our local agencies, our fire departments, to be able to put grain tubes in place. So in the event that someone is trapped in a silo, we can safely get them out of those. And in the year of 2021, we placed 48 new excavation tubes across the United States. So 48 of those. And during this most recent harvest, we believe that a gentleman in Kansas had his life saved because of the partnership and the grain tube that was placed in his local fire department. So, and thank you for that. But as you think about the holiday season, one of the things that we do is we like to spend time with friends and family, just like today, together again. And one of the things we'd love to be able to do is to be able to bring someone in and tell you how the grain tube safety program has impacted them. And what we want to do in a minute here is to show a video that we believe tells the story about how someone is going to spend their holidays with their family. Now, ultimately, here's what we're working on. We're investing in companies in the western part of the United States who are committed to coming up with an affordable, automated, robotic system where we can put those into grain bins instead of putting farmers and their support folks into grain bins and keep everyone safe. It's the world we live in. We need to embrace technology, and it needs to support, our core base, which is our agriculture group. So I brought a short video I think you'll enjoy. Could we go ahead and share that now, please?
Bird City Fire got paged first. Chief Blair from St. Francis Fire Department got on scene and immediately recognized the need for additional resources and help, so they had us paged for mutual aid. He climbed in for whatever reason, no harness, no safety gear, to grab something, and that's when stuff shifted and then sucked him right down into the V. The heat outside was like 94. I would say in the bin, it was probably a good 110. We ended up being able to make side access, which made life a lot easier than having to go down through the top. Ropes still come into play. I run taglines on all my guys. If they're going in, they got a tagline on. So if something happens, we at least try to yank them back. So we finally ended up finding like a number 10 coffee can. And the last 45 minutes or so, we handed that to him and was like, start scooping. And, he got himself dug to the point where he was like, I think I can get myself out. All right, well, go ahead and pull on the edge of this cofferdam and start taking baby steps upwards. And ended up, from the time we got on scene until he was in the helicopter, was an hour and 22 minutes. And he had been in the grain for about an hour prior to our arrival. Any rescue is a great day. So, you get those elated feelings, and your adrenaline rush kind of gets replaced with, I'm not sure what emotion or chemical, but it's just that elation that, hey man, that was awesome. High fives. And I would definitely say my department is very big on training. On top of in-house training, we all, everybody does out of station training, outside training, but an actual rescue incident, that was a first grain engulfment rescue.
Always a time of reflection when I watch that video. I don't know about anybody else, but I've seen that multiple times, and it always gets me right here. Cindy and I have extended family members who were impacted by grain bins, and one of those had a positive outcome, one of those did not have a positive outcome. So it's important to Nationwide, it's important to us right here. So number 3, what's the third thing that we discovered after major events like a pandemic unfolded? The third thing that we discovered was it was more important for customers, it was more important for consumers to do business with companies who had values, that were values-based. And I would offer for almost 100 years, that's exactly who Nationwide has been. And we know that things have taken place in the social justice initiatives, and yes, we participate in those things because one of the values at Nationwide is that we value people. We value people, we value all people. And that was very, very important that our associates, our members, and our customers understood that. We value people, we value all people. And one of the things that was taking place in America during the last number of years, it probably shone a light on some things that weren't real positive in America. Folks, we're in Franklin County, Ohio. That's where Columbus is located. And in Franklin County, Ohio, tonight, 1 out of every 6 children will go to bed food insecure. And what does that mean? What it means is 1 of 6 children in Franklin County will go to bed tonight not knowing where their next meals are going to come from tomorrow. Now that's just wrong. This is part of the breadbasket of America. So from a nationwide standpoint, we've always been a partner with Feeding America. It's a national program. And we're closely aligned here in Franklin County with the Mid-Ohio food programs, because we didn't want that to take place. And no matter what's going on in the country, right? And there's all kinds of unrest that are taking place, it's not the children's fault. And so we made a commitment that we were going to do whatever we could do to be able to make sure that children didn't go to bed or didn't wake up in the morning food insecure. We've invested nearly $30 million with the Mid-Ohio Food Cooperative to make sure that that doesn't take place. In the Hilltop and other areas of Columbus here that are needy areas, we've actually put food banks in place. Just not food banks, but food banks that furnish safe, fresh vegetables and fruits, because that's what children need. And you all get that more than anybody else. We've done a lot, but there's so much more to do. But I also think as you reflect on what's the future of agriculture in this space, we're very proud of the partnership that we have with The Ohio State University through the College of Agriculture, Waterman Farm, some of the initiatives there, nearly $20 million that we've invested in sustainability of agriculture. Agriculture is one of our main customers, one of our main membership groups, and it's important that we continue to support in various ways. So the work that's taking place there through, food security, be able to sustain agriculture in a proper way, and to also tell the story through legislative and other activities that we do with the American Farm Bureau and with you. Folks, that's who we are. And so what I hope you take away from these 3 things is we understand who we are, we understand our heritage, we understand our roots, and it's you. And for that we say thank you for the friendship, thank you for the partnership, thank you for the sponsorship, and I will wish you happiest of holidays and enjoy the rest of your annual meeting. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage the Ohio Farm Bureau Young Agricultural Professionals State Committee Chairs, Tyrone and Megan Brannon.
It has been an honor to serve as chairs of the Young Agricultural Professional State Committee for the past year. We would like to thank the other dedicated members of the committee for the service they have provided, particularly through the pandemic. Our committee has remained focused and strong. Would you please stand to be recognized?
Before we introduce you to some of the tremendous young ag professionals we have in our organization, we would like to recognize the companies who sponsor and support our Young Agricultural Professionals Awards.
Thanks to the generous support of Nationwide and Farm Credit Mid-America, each award winner receives a complimentary trip to the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention to compete at the national level, an all-inclusive trip to the YAP Winter Leadership Experience, and a $3,000 Invest in You prize. Thanks to Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, finalists for each contest receive an Ohio Farm Bureau soft shell jacket, and complimentary registration to the 2022 Winter Leadership Experience. Thank you for your support.
Our first award is for the discussion meet. The finals took place last fall, where 10 young ag professionals took part in a virtual competition. They were evaluated on their delivery, critical thinking, Farm Bureau engagement, and the overall context of their interview. Each competitor was paired with a member of the agricultural media and participated in a 10-minute interview around 2 predetermined topics. The winner of the 2021 discussion meet is Stacy Anderson from Wood County. Please direct your attention to the screens to get to know Stacy.
Our family are full-time grain farmers where we raise corn, soybeans, and wheat. But my husband and I also own our own meat business, Anderson Farm Products. With that business, we do direct-to-consumer meat sales. Here on our farm, we raise meat chickens, fresh Thanksgiving turkeys, pork, beef, as well as have 2 mobile coops full of hens that lay fresh brown eggs that we share with our community every week. I'm married to Brian, who I said earlier is a full-time farmer. We've been married almost 10 years. We have 3 children. My daughter Audrey is a first grader. She's 6 years old. My son Morris is 4 and he'll be starting preschool next week. And my son Maurer will be 2 this fall and is our youngest of the bunch. I'm the agronomy sales manager for Legacy Farmers Cooperative, which is headquartered in Findlay, Ohio. I've been with Legacy just over 7 years. Legacy is a 4R nutrient stewardship qualified retailer. So we work heavily in the H2 Ohio programs with new advanced services and cutting edge technology with our growers. And it's my job to make sure that we're doing the best we can to service our growers, to make sure we're offering the best products in the industry, and help to continue coaching and holding our salespeople accountable to doing the best they can to serve our geography. So I grew up on a farm, my husband grew up on a farm, and we knew that farming was what the lifestyle we wanted our kids to be raised among to. Seeing them interact with animals, seeing them learn about food production and how they can really make an impact on the community around them and the world at large, really, by what we do every day is so important. As long as I can remember, my family has been members of Farm Bureau. Back in the days where lots of people got together for Farm Bureau councils and they'd get their whole families together, not just the parents, but the kids too, and they'd get together and they'd get that discussion leader in the mail that would talk them through topics that are important to agriculture. I can remember doing that as a kid. Now I've been a Farm Bureau member for over 15 years. Most recently, I've served for the last 7 years as the president of the Wood County Farm Bureau, where I've been a board member for almost 10 years. I'm serving out my last year of my term this year. The Discussion Meet Contest is a unique contest that the Ohio Farm Bureau offers because it really allows you to kind of test your knowledge and formulate and articulate your opinion and scope of relevant issues in the ag industry. And it's important to me to have won because it really shows that I can share my viewpoints with people. And I think that's the whole point of the competition, is not only who knows the most or who can read as many articles as they need to prepare. It's really more about who can take that information, put their own spin on it, show how it relates to them and their farm and maybe their membership in Farm Bureau, and share that with people. Our family has been in Northwest Ohio, specifically here in Wood County, for over 100 years farming. And our hope is that we are able to provide the framework and the work ethic and the stewardship to be able to do it for 100 more if our kids and their kids choose to do so.
Congratulating Stacy is Shonda Vega of Nationwide, Tara Durbin of Farm Credit Mid-America, President Patterson, and Executive Vice President Sharp. Congratulations, Stacy, and we wish you the best of luck in the national competition in Atlanta. Last month, the semifinals were held for the 2022 discussion meet. The finalists will compete at the upcoming Young Ag Professionals Winter Leadership Experience January 28th in Cincinnati. The winner will advance to the national discussion meet in 2023 at the American Farm Bureau Annual Convention in Puerto Rico.
In no particular order, congratulations to Miranda Miser of Guernsey County, Kristen Dickey of Henry County, Mike Hannawald of Lucas County, and Candace Lease of Wayne County. We wish all of you the best in the next round of competition.
Now we turn the podium over to the co-chair of the Young Ag Professionals Committee, Cameron Reinhardt, who will introduce the winners of the Outstanding Young Farmer and Excellence in Agriculture Awards.
Thank you, Megan and Tyrone. The Outstanding Young Farmer Contest is designed to help young agricultural professionals strengthen their business skills, developing marketing opportunities, and receive recognition for their accomplishments. This summer, contestants were judged on growth of their farm businesses, involvement in Farm Bureau, and their local communities. The 2021 Outstanding Young Farmer winner is Kyle Stockton from Allen County. Please watch this video introduction of Kyle.
I farm about 700 acres in western Allen County, and also have hogs and cattle, and farm because it's the best lifestyle and best job. I'm a fourth generation farmer. I farm with my dad now. He officially retired in 2017, but still is able to help me out quite a bit. I've been on our County Farm Bureau board for about 5 years now, and our County Farm Bureau needed some young leadership, and I was glad to step up and help fill in the gap. Farming is really capital intensive. It's an equity business, and you can't create equity except for with time and effort. And so we've spent a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to build capital and be able to grow the farm like we want to. For the first 5 years that I farmed, I also was working full time, and it was a real challenge to balance the time. It's difficult to be involved in your community and still be able to farm by yourself the way that I do and do it right. But you just have to keep grinding. Agriculture is a never-ending grind. You have to keep after it every day. There's no days off. We've been really good at balancing livestock production and crop production and getting the two to intertwine, feeding corn to cattle that we grew ourselves, and also at using manure to replace fertilizer. We've made a lot of investments to apply our own fertilizer so that we know that it's getting done right and the way we want to see it get done, and manage water quality in the environment. A lot of people want to judge farm success on size alone, but I think there's a really important aspect of being a dynamic operation, doing something that someone else isn't. In a commodity business, everything is just pinched down to where whoever's the lowest cost and the lowest overhead. But I think there's a lot of dynamic abilities that we can capture, and that's really what I want to try and do, is just be a really dynamic and forward-thinking and leaning operation. I don't want to be afraid to try things, and when they work, lead all of agriculture forward that way. Young Ag Professionals has been a really good experience for me, meeting other young farmers all across Ohio, and not just farmers, but ag enthusiasts all the way around, whether it's people who work commercially and we get to work with on inputs and that sort of thing, or other farmers that we get to learn from and become a better operation together. Being the 2021 Ohio Farm Bureau Outstanding Young Farmer is really a big thing to me, in that I can look around and say that there's some accolades behind it. A lot of times agriculture just pounds on you and pounds on you and pounds on you. And sometimes you feel like you're in this hole and you just look up and there's barely any light. But getting some acknowledgement is really important for being able to look around and say, hey, we're doing this right and we're doing this well.
Congratulations, Kyle. As the Ohio winner, Kyle will be competing in the National Young Farmer Contest as part of the American Farm Bureau Convention. Once again, we'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors, Nationwide and Farm Credit Mid-America. We'll be cheering for you in Atlanta, Kyle. Congratulations. Our final award goes to the winner of the Excellence in Agriculture contest, which recognizes successful young agricultural professionals who are actively contributing and growing through their involvement with Farm Bureau and agriculture. The 2021 Excellence in Agriculture contest winner is Joe Everett of Shelby County. Let's get to know a little bit more about Joe.
So on our farm, it consists of my dad, John, my uncle Tim, and my cousin Tyler, and myself and our families. And between that and a partnership that I have with my cousin, Everett and Sons, we farm about 3,500 acres of corn and soybeans on a cash grain operation. So I farm because I just love agriculture. I love being out in the fields, and I love spending time with my family out in the fields, and just love everything about it. So my family consists of my wife, Casey, who's a school teacher, my daughter Addison, who's 2, and Brooks, who's 3 months, and our dog Cooper. So farming, it's been a challenge for me. After coming back from the Navy, it was a really adjustment for me to get back into things, but it's really what I wanted to do. I missed it being gone away, and it gave it a different meaning for me and how much it meant to me. I think a big challenge that we face on our farm is just making sure that we're ready for the next generation to take over. So right now, I think I'm most proud of just the growth that our farm has came over the last few years. And I'm also just proud of the work we do and the quality work we do around here, and I want to continue that. I hope to one day farm this farm with my family, just like my dad has done with me and my cousin, and my uncle has with us as well, and my granddad did with them. My involvement with Farm Bureau is I'm currently serving as our county president for Shelby County. I am also a policy chairman for our county, and I'm also on the policy development committee for Farm Bureau. After returning from the Navy, my neighbor was part of the Young Ag Professionals, and really got me, he kept coming down to my door talking to me about it, and I was a little hesitant at first, but now I'm so glad I'm a part of it, and I've hit it with the ground running. So achieving this award has been a huge honor, just because I know there's a lot of great farmers across the state. But winning this award is just a small token of the support of my family and my friends and my community and my local Farm Bureau has given me to this point. And without their support, I wouldn't have achieved this award.
Congratulations, Joe. We appreciate Nationwide and Farm Credit Mid-America's support of our Young Ag Professional programs. Joe, we look forward to hearing about your experience in Atlanta. Congratulations. Let's congratulate all of our Young Ag Professional Award winners one more time.
As we come to the final part of our program, Ohio Farm Bureau would like to bestow the Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award to 4 individuals who have made a significant impact on agriculture and on Farm Bureau. It is with mixed emotions that we honor and also celebrate the career of Dr. Tony Forshee, who sadly passed away November 26th. With a good work ethic comes success. That is advice that Dr. Forshey's father instilled in him at a very young age on their family farm in Noble County, where they raised cattle, hogs, sheep, and various crops in addition to having 9 acres of gardens. The farm had plenty of help, as Dr. Forshey was joined by 6 brothers and 6 sisters. Because his family was so large, they depended on one another, which is probably why helping others was second nature for Tony. Helping others describes Dr. Forshey, both professionally and personally. It's what drove him to continually share information with those he taught or mentored. And he took pride in contributing to their success and seeing them be the very best throughout their careers. Throughout his 27 years as a practicing veterinarian, Dr. Forshey made invaluable contributions to the betterment of the swine industry. He focused on herd health and disease prevention rather than simply treating sick animals. He was so well respected in his profession that he was named Ohio's State Veterinarian and Chief of the Division of Animal Health for the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Through his leadership in that position, Dr. Forshey, in partnership with Ohio Farm Bureau, helped create the Ohio Livestock Care Standards Board and was a charter member. A long-standing tradition for the Forshey family and their friends is making homemade sausage the Friday after Thanksgiving, and for some, it is their very first lesson in food production. That type of education really summarizes what Dr. Forshey did throughout his life. As he described it, he painted a picture with words and actions and shared that with others, teaching them all about agriculture and its value to communities throughout the world. Please direct your attention to the screens as we hear from our Distinguished Service Award recipient, Dr. Tony Forshey, and his wife, Jill.
My husband has had quite a career, and he's rubbed elbows with a lot of different people. So I'm going to try really hard to get everyone covered. But speaking for my husband, Tony, he's very honored and humbled to be accepting this award. And he would like to thank the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, Board, and trustees, along with everyone involved at Ohio Farm Bureau. But he also wants to give all glory to God, especially over this past year after being diagnosed in January with cancer. Dr. Forshey has asked me to speak on his behalf. Early on, my wife created a page on Caring Bridge to keep our family, friends, and colleagues updated on this journey and to request prayers. She quickly named them the village, and we've all heard of It Takes a Village before. Well, I've been surrounded during my career by quite a village, and they've supported me so that I could accomplish the things that I've done. I want to thank the many directors that I've had at the Ohio Department of Agriculture, especially Director Dorothy Polanda, everyone at the Ohio Department of Ag, from field staff like the veterinarians and livestock inspectors to the ADDL lab, and everyone involved. And most importantly, thank you for supporting agriculture in Ohio. I would also add the commodity groups, the federal side, which is the counterpart to what ODA does, and to the Ohio State University. It makes me very proud and honored to work alongside all of you. Also, to my wonderful family and friends. God is good. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I just want to say it's quite an honor to receive this award from the Ohio Farm Bureau. Particularly want to thank Adam Sharp and Bill Patterson and a host of others that made this possible.
It's certainly an honor and privilege to present this plaque for Distinguished Service to Agriculture, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, awarded to Dr. Tony Forshey.
Our next Distinguished Service Award is awarded posthumously to Belinda Jones. Belinda was born and raised in Southern Ohio, and she has never forgot her rural roots as she forged a career at the State House in Columbus. Belinda's do-it-all nature was legendary, even from her earliest days in high school. She was both a cheerleader for her football team and played flute in the Vinton County High School marching band at halftime. She earned her undergraduate degree in public relations at Capital University. From there, she went on to work at the State House for Speaker Vern Rife, while finishing her law degree at Capital University, at Capital Law School at night, also while raising a family. For more than 30 years, Belinda was known as a hardworking and smart advocate. She put roots down in agricultural law, and while serving as a corporate counsel for the Scotts Company, and finally as legislative counsel for the Capital Consulting Group. Belinda was incredibly dedicated to her clients and went above and beyond what was necessary. In many cases, she developed close personal relationships with her clients that lasted many years beyond those professional, before the professional relationships, even after the professional relationships concluded. No matter if you were a high-profile politician, a senior official, an aide, an intern, or even a security guard, Belinda made you feel special. That magic, of course, extended to her friends and her family as well. She was beloved by all, and if you were a friend of her children, she treated you like you were one of her own. Throughout her too short life, Belinda gave of her time, her talent, her treasure to many charitable causes and maintained a rock-solid faith in God. Please watch this video as we honor Belinda Jones.
Hello everyone, my name is Logan Jones. I'm the son of Belinda Mollahan Jones. And on behalf of my mother Belinda and our family, we want to thank the Ohio Farm Bureau for nominating my mother for the Distinguished Service Award. My mother has had a number of people that have helped her throughout her career. In fact, too many to count, but I will attempt to list some of the people that have helped her along the way. My mom got her career started in government affairs by the help of Vern Rife. He was able to vouch for my mom and get a position with State Representative Mark Malone. And my mother also was able to work with State Representative Jim Betts. And eventually she started working for a law firm, Walter Haverfield, and they were able to encourage her to go through law school even while she had children at home, myself being one of them. And eventually made her way over to the Scotts Miracle Grow Company, where she worked on a variety of agricultural legislation and political activism across the country. And from there, my mother worked at Capital Consulting Group with her husband, Danny Jones, who again was a tremendous support in her career. I also want to thank my mother's family, specifically her parents, Keith and Judy Mollahan. They supported her every step of the way from day one and encouraging her to pursue her academics and going to law school as well. I also want to thank my brother and sister, who were a tremendous source of joy for my mother and gave her the encouragement that she needed to pursue in her career and provide for our family. We're here on the family farm in Vinton County, where my mother grew up just down the road. While she worked and lived in Columbus, she never forgot her Vinton County roots, where agriculture was an incredibly important part of the community. And she took that value of agriculture and hard work wherever she went in the State House and abroad. And finally, I want to thank the good people at the Ohio Farm Bureau, Adam Sharp and the team, for nominating my mother for, again, this wonderful award. This is a great privilege, and our family feels very honored that my mother was nominated to receive this award.
The plaque reads, "For distinguished service to agriculture, recognized by the Ohio Farm Bureau, awarded to Belinda Jones, December 9th, 2021. Congratulations, family.
Our third Distinguished Service Award recipient is Randy Lias. Randy has deep roots as a fifth-generation farmer on his family's operation in Montgomery County. With 2 sesquicentennial farms in one family, Randy's passion for carrying on the legacy of his family's farm is matched only by his enthusiasm for volunteering in his community, focusing on his farm, church, and farm bureau. His pathway in agriculture started in 4-H, and then his journey took him to The Ohio State University, where he earned 2 degrees. Randy credits his initial Farm Bureau involvement to former Executive Vice President Bill Swank. Randy said, "Bill Swank was passionate about Farm Bureau and his passion was contagious." He first became involved in Farm Bureau in 1975 when he served at the county level. His journey culminated with service on the State Board of Trustees from 1993 through 2011. Representing Butler, Hamilton, Montgomery, and Preble counties. More recently, Randy has taken pride in seeing the next generation become involved in the operation. His children, Nathan and Anna, have both found ways to be active in agriculture and their communities. And now his grandchildren, Logan, Parker, and Brooks, are finding new ways to enjoy the farm with their grandfather. Please direct your attention to the screens as we hear from Randy Lias.
When I first became involved in Farm Bureau, Bill Swank was the executive secretary for OFB. Bill was a man who was passionate about agriculture and Farm Bureau, and his passion was contagious to many volunteers, including this volunteer here. One of the most memorable examples of what happens when that energy and passion of volunteers is harnessed was Issue 5 in 1992, the chemical labeling law. Early before the election, a few months before the election, polls showed that issue passing by a wide majority. Then Farm Bureau got involved. Volunteers put up signs, and more signs. Volunteers talked to friends and neighbors. In those days, we didn't have social media, so you actually talked to other people. On election day, that issue went down to overwhelming defeat. Why do I talk about volunteers? Because I think volunteers deserve a Distinguished Service Award. Those of you here today, and those who I was able to work with for the past 10, 20, or 30 years. You don't get any pay, but you believe in Farm Bureau. You contact legislators, you work membership, you put together and hold county events, and of course, you attend meetings. When on the state board, I attended many county events and meetings. I wanted to know my counties, which happened to be Butler, Hamilton, Montgomery, and Preble. I wanted to know the volunteers and what issues were important to them. I was frequently surprised by what I could learn at a county board meeting. Sometimes I learned something about Ohio Farm Bureau that I hadn't heard at a state board meeting. At my table today are my kids, Nathan and Anna. I would like to thank them for their support while I was on the Farm Bureau board. I missed some of their events while they were growing up, and while I was away, Nathan kept the farm running. Although I think maybe just once or twice, I heard another Farm Bureau meeting. Also at the table with me today are a few of the volunteers that I had the privilege of serving with. You and the many volunteers in your counties that you represent deserve a Distinguished Service Award for the work that you have done and the work that you continue to do. Thank you for your service, and thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Randy, for your service to Ohio agriculture. And the plaque reads, Distinguished Service to Agriculture, Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, awarded to Randy Lias, December 9th, 2021.
Our final recipient of the Distinguished Service Award is Keith Stempert. For over 40 years, Keith Stempert served Ohio agriculture in multiple roles with outstanding results. He began his professional journey as a Farm Bureau organization director in Southwest Ohio in 1978, and in 1981 he joined the organization's communications staff. In 1987, while also serving as the Director of Commodity Activities for Farm Bureau, Keith became Executive Director of the Ohio Soybean Association and served in that position for 9 years. During this time, he helped found the Ohio Soybean Council and served as its first Executive Director. He was passionate about working for a producer's board in establishing programs to build soybean profitability. In 2016, the Ohio Soybean Council presented Keith with its Outstanding Achievement Award. Keith assumed the role as Vice President of Governmental Affairs at Ohio Farm Bureau, where he was responsible for coordinating the organization's overall legislative agenda, a position he held for 16 years. He ended his tenure as Senior Vice President for the organization department and was responsible for leadership development, IT, membership benefits, membership and field operations. Keith has built strong relationships across Ohio agriculture and beyond during his career. He has worked directly, he is trusted and respected, and those who have worked directly with him know of his professionalism, his good judgment, his depth of knowledge. On many fronts, Keith's legacy and his impact on Ohio agriculture is significant. Let's hear it for Keith Stempert.
I want to extend my sincere thanks to the Ohio Farm Bureau Board of Trustees for this recognition. It's a very special award, and I'm truly humbled. Working with Ohio's farmers has made up the entirety of my professional life, and I couldn't be happier or feel more fulfilled. My dad, who was a vocational agriculture teacher in Johnstown and then had a successful career in agribusiness, always encouraged me to work in agriculture, feeling that you never find better people to work with than the farmers of this great state. And he was right. From sitting with a county Farm Bureau president at a kitchen table, planning the board meeting agenda in my early days as an organization director, to advocacy meetings with governors and legislators, I always felt like together we were moving the ball forward for agriculture. Most days were a joy, even though at times the challenges were great. And of course, all progress was due to the strong farmer leadership that I had working with those farmers with the Ohio Farm Bureau, the Ohio Soybean Association, and the Ohio Soybean Council, and of course, my great teammates with the Ohio Farm Bureau. I was fortunate enough to work with incredible leaders like Bill Swank and Jack Fisher, men who had great passion for our industry and for our organization, and many other great teammates like my first supervisor, Dale Chuha. Dale was a Vietnam veteran, and he'd always pull on his twist-to-flex wristband and remind me to be flexible when things went in the wrong direction. And of course, Adam Sharp and the current team at the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation, who probably had something to do with my nomination. Thank you for the privilege of working alongside you all during my career at the Ohio Farm Bureau. I'm very excited for the future you all are created. I'd also like to thank the executive assistants and administrative assistants that worked with me over the years, from Chris Nunner and Marcia Barnhart in those early days in the beginning, to Julie Shaw at the end of my career. Those folks were so helpful to me and so important to our organization. My mom and dad were valuable role models, helping my sister Kathy and I understand what a full day's work looked like and what it meant to be in service to others. And of course, I share this award with my wife, Terry. You know, in those early days, driving home from late night meetings in Ravenna or Findlay or Jackson, I always knew Terry had the kids fed, their homework complete, and the day's problems handled. And that on top of her very distinguished career as a speech language pathologist with Dublin City Schools. So thankful for Terry and so proud of our adult children. And finally, let me just say that our core values of honesty, integrity, and grassroots advocacy have served us very well over the years. And in a world today laden with anger and incivility and a lack of respect for other people's opinions, I think we stand as a great example for others to follow. We can all be proud of that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart I wish you all great success in the future, and may God bless.
The plaque reads, with distinguished service to agriculture, the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation awarded to Keith Stemper, December 9, 2021. Congratulations, Keith.
Well, this has been an inspiring afternoon, and we thank all of you for being with us today.